Hello again, I'm Robert Fithen, and well, April is ending on kind of a sad note. On the 29th, a record store in Springfield, Illinois, that's been around for decades is unfortunately closing. It's Recycled Records in downtown Springfield, Illinois. It was a furniture store for quite a long time, for over 100 years. This place has been there. Started off as a furniture store, family owned, and then in the late 70s, early 80s, they started selling records. It started off as a little section on the balcony and then basically started overtaking the second floor until finally the entire second floor was a big record store. And then the furniture was only on the first floor, and then eventually CDs came in later in the 80s and took over part of the first floor, and then they started moving the furniture into the basement, and they renamed the place just Recycled Records. Their motto was, "You'll like us if you can find us," because they were kind of unassuming little place in downtown Springfield, right by the state capitol, which, you have all of the state workers there, a big white collar kind of situation where you had like jewelry stores and dress, suit and tie shops with, dress shoes and all that kind of stuff. And then you had this used record store there too. So with just a little sign that said Recycled Records. Now, I lived in Springfield, Illinois for almost 9 years when I was working in rock radio there, and I used to go to the store all the time, and it's sad to see this place close. When I was going, it was pretty much run by two brothers. I got to know the one brother. He got to know me on site pretty much. He unfortunately passed away in April of last year, but he did get to see, he lived long enough to get to see the vinyl resurgence, so that was pretty cool. His other brother is still there and is retiring, and so the store is closing, and you can see here that they've got a huge record selection still on the second floor. They're having these big sales going on, 50% off pretty much a lot of stuff, or stuff like 20% off or way marked down. Their $2 section was all half price, and that's been completely picked over at this point. I got there kind of late. I couldn't get there right away, when the sales all first started. So, yeah, everything's been way picked over, and pretty much all that's left is stuff like this. Craig's Vinyl Plethora will appreciate this. The overabundance of Frank Mills' Music Box Dancer albums still left there if you want to get that. And yeah, I'll always remember Recycled Records. They've kind of got a big history to them. Now myself, I used to go in there all the time. This is where I got my Grateful Dead mono, Grateful Dead's debut for $1. I've talked about this before. That's where I scored this. And in my 25-cent John Prine, that's where I got it, Recycled Records in Springfield. They used to have these blowout sales where records were 25 cents. This was back, of course, in the 90s. And yeah, got John Prine. You're not going to get John Prine's debut for 25 cents anymore, that's for sure. Got Barbara Mandrell CD. Yes, it does have Sleeping Single in a Double Bed on it, and her cover of If Lovin' You Was Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. It's on there as well. Now, back when they were open in the 70s, or the late 70s and 80s or whatever, they had special guests in there. They closed the store down but opened it up so Weird Al Yankovic could go shopping. He apparently gave their comedy section his seal of approval. Al Jardine from the Beach Boys was there. He did some record shopping there as well. As legend would have it, you didn't think I was going to pick this up and start making fun of Pet Sounds, do you? Did I do something like that? Yeah, Al Jardine, apparently a big shopper there. There's all kinds of celebrity people that came there. Now, there was a rumor going around for a while that George Harrison went there in the 60s. And I'm pointing like you don't know which one George Harrison is. Went there in the 60s and bought like songs like Chains and Devil in Her Heart and things that would be later covered by the Beatles. That is not true. They didn't start selling records till the late 70s, early 80s. And the actual record store that he went to and got the guitar and everything is in Moline, Illinois. Of course, George Harrison's sister lived in Benton, Illinois, and so she is the one that went around and gave the record to the DJ in Southern Illinois and made that the very first radio station in the United States of America that ever played. Forget about the New York station. Forget about, what's that guy's name? Murray the K. No. That was not first. The Southern Illinois small station that George Harrison's sister gave the record to from England, not a U.S. pressing, a record from England, was the first station in the U.S. to play the Beatles. But again, that's not Recycled Records. But there was a rumor going around that it was for a long time, and that really wasn't true. Oh, I just remembered, I also got my Lord Sutch record there that I forgot to bring out. So yeah, I got that there as well. Got all kinds of stuff there. And like I said, by the time I went, all the stuff had been picked over. So I just decided to get some 45s. They were really discounted as well. So got these for, like I think 50 cents or whatever. Got, one of the only songs I like off ZZ Top's Afterburner album, Stages, with the picture sleeve. Got Sheila E. I prefer the single version of this, The Glamorous Life. The album version goes on for way too long. AC/DC's Let's Get It Up. I mean, really the best I could do, because nobody was ever shopping for singles anymore. So I was able to get these with the picture sleeves. Not even Bon Scott. You got Brian Johnson ACD there and AC/DC there, and Let's Get It Up. Samantha Fox and Touch Me. I Want Your Body. Had the album, but now I've got the smaller version of that. And some cool 45s here from David Bowie. This is TVC 15 from Station to Station. Really cool in the RCA sleeve there. I upgraded my copy of Lonnie Mac's instrumental Wham from 1963. So got that. Got a cool single from the Strawberry Alarm Clock called Tomorrow. Yes, they had another single besides just Incense and Peppermints. And now I have a Gary Newman record. And it's actually from the Relics album that I recently heard, thanks to the Vinyl Community Gunkles, and really like. So now I have Are Our Friends Electric, a promo single with the same song on both sides. Anyway, so I wanted to get something to remember my very last visit to Recycled Records. It was pretty bittersweet there, but good to see the one brother still there running things, and he's going to close it down, like I said, at the end of this month. I believe it's the 29th is the last day. So if you're in the area, you might want to visit Recycled Records for the very last time. Like I said, a store that has been around, a family-owned business for over 100 years, been selling records for, 30, 40 years, something like that. A lot of memories for me going in there all the time with the creaky floor and the you took the stairway to heaven to get to the second floor to where all the records were. So great memories of that place, and sad to see another record store closing. I mean, they made it through the whole CD era. They made it through COVID, and they couldn't make it anymore. I guess it's a retiring time, and they're going to close it down. They got a buyer, so it's not going to be a record store anymore. But a lot of great memories of Recycled Records on the one-way street in Springfield, downtown Springfield, Illinois. Recycled Records. It's great to have you around. Great record store. Got a lot of really cheap records there for like $1 or $2 back in the 90s. And yeah, sad to see it go. So, but yeah, Riverbend Records in Godfrey, Illinois is still open. You can go there. It's only 75-mile difference, but maybe it'll be worth the trip. I'm Robert Fithen. Thank you so much for watching and taking this trip back in time to Recycled Records. And yeah, they're closing down. So I'll talk to you next time.